So this is Ransom1690 back here with another video. And here I am sitting out in the backyard again because I am really trying not to hit up the food place again. You know, just that seemed to be something I do when I'm just really not feeling too comfortable in this environment. You know, it's like I just wake up every day and just I don't know, it's like when you're awakened, you just see how weird every fucking thing is. You know, so I just waking up in this house, I'm just constantly going like, what the fuck, man? You know, and I tried to look, kind of just get some inspiration, look at an art book and all of that, but it's like, it's hard for me to even really enjoy art because of all the weird shit that's always going on here. Is like I try to just get in the mood to be creative, and then my mom gets up doing some stupid shit. You know, as I've already shown in the past, and unfortunately, these was one of those days. It wasn't too bad, but it's like I swear, like it's always something freaky going on with her, some weird dream she's having, which she just felt the need to tell me about today, or some weird revelation, some bullshit. And I'm like, I don't be fucking wanting to hear all that shit. It's like, yo, just whatever's going on with you, just work it out for yourself. But that's not what I want to talk about, you know. I want to talk about the fact that it seems like no matter what you do, there is no escape from what should I call it? I'm gonna call it the not even expectations, but it's just the well, I guess you can say expectations. There is no escape from the expectations of this society, because it's like no matter what you do or how you try to escape, you gotta fucking do what this society wants you to do. You know, of course, we talk about how you gotta make money and all of that to survive, but I'm gonna put more of a creative spin on it, because as I've been telling y'all, I've been trying to get away from all this negative media. So I've been trying to go back to watching art related type shit, you know, about artists and stuff, and trying to get inspired. And so last night I was watching this documentary about Paul Gauguin, you know, and I just watching about his life, and I guess like what they were saying is he started off as a successful business owner. I don't remember what profession in particular. I think he was like a banker or something like that. But the stock market crashed, and I think they said he fell on hard times. But you know what I believe, because like I don't fucking remember all the details, but what I think is around that time is when they said he started trying to become an artist and all that shit, you know. And so he picked up his art. He started learning how to paint and shit. And it's like everything they talked about his life from that point forward was just a shitload of struggling mixed in with tidbits of success, which wasn't a lot, you know. And just how they would talk about how he would paint these pictures, and it's like, okay, sometimes he would sell his paintings, other times he wouldn't. But what stuck out to me is that how they often said that he was fucking broke as shit, living in, like, he went from wealthy businessman to just fucking living in poverty in these cheap houses in the ghettos and just all sorts of shit. And it's like when you hear about these fucking artists, or me anyway, one of the things I constantly notice watching these documentaries is that I had to fucking spit there. But anyway, it's that a lot of these artists be struggling like shit. Like, and it's like I remember the last fucking documentary I watched about the impressionism movement, and it was just so disheartening watching that. It ties into Paul Gauguin because he was around during that period where Monet and Toulouse-Lautrec and all of them, I don't remember all they fucking names, but he was around that time where they decided to start this artistic movement. And it's like all of them, including Paul Gauguin, it's like they just struggled. And one of the things that stick out to me is that, in order for them to gain traction for their work and to gain popularity, they had to go through a fucking judgmental system where it's like, these businessmen would say, like, okay, yeah, your work looked pretty good, so hey, we gonna put your shit up in the gallery and display it in a museum, and then they would, I guess, make money for it that way. But if like they didn't like they work, they'd be like, no. And I think they called it the fucking salon or some type of shit. Yeah, that's what it was called. And it's like, so they had to go through this fucking salon, this whatever judgment system, just to even gain traction for their profession. And it's like that's what really get me, because when people say that, oh, well, find a career that you like and it will never seem like work, like that is such horse shit, because these people was doing what they liked back then. They wanted to paint, but it's like they still had to fucking go through this system where people had to accept they shit, where they had to gain clout, where and it's like everyone shares the same story. Like they were either fucking poor, didn't have money, barely had money for paint. And I think Monet, there was this one detail where I was hearing about Monet where like he was so fucking poor that he couldn't even support himself, and he had a family at that, so he couldn't support his family. So it's like he was constantly moving from hotel to hotel, and then like these fucking landlords, or like they would constantly kick him and his family out of the hotels and shit because, oh, he didn't have any money because he didn't sell any work at the salon. So it's like just constantly ending up on the streets, just struggling. And it's like, no matter what you try to fucking do, or what business opportunity you try to pursue, you're gonna struggle, Even if you try to get something like real stable, because I know art back then, it wasn't even fucking stable back then. But even if you try to get something stable, it's like it could be something you hate, and just notice a lot of the shit that people saying is, oh, stable, like what my bitchy ass workforce commission counselor was trying to recommend to me. Oh, you need to go to construction, and like it's all shit that you're gonna fucking hate. So it's like it's such horse shit that, oh, pick a career path you like and it'll never seem like work, because it's like the stuff that I want to do, it's a 100%. I'm gonna say that at this point, like pursuing something in the art path it is 100% guaranteed you are going to fucking suffer, and you may not even make it. Because look at these motherfuckers that I'm talking about. Look at Paul Gauguin. Broke. Like, living in ghettos. And I think, it's a lot of other shit about him that's I'm not going to get into because it's not relevant to the video. But the main point was he was constantly broke. Like, as soon as he went from being a stockbroker or whatever the fuck to being an artist, this dude just struggled. And then he died a fucking miserable death with a sexually transmitted disease like Monet, all of them. They fucking struggled their ass off. And another thing I want to mention about them is that they did eventually make it, If you know about their story, they did eventually make it, but by the time they got established to where they had clout, to where they had people following their work, to where museums wanted to take their shit in, they was already fucking old. They was already old, having health problems, dying and shit. It's like, okay, now they get to enjoy the fruits of their labor, of the pursuit of their career when they're already about to die. Like, it's fucking just crazy. And then even when you look at like these fucking, they call them old masters and shit, like Leonardo da Vinci and all of that. Just these people, they had to fucking work for someone just to gain traction for their work. Having to fucking kiss up to these crooked ass churches and these cathedrals and shit, and competing with other artists just so they could fucking have favor with the Pope to get paid to paint in the church. It's like, choose something that you're gonna want to do, a career that you enjoy, and you're never gonna have to work a day in your life. And these people prove that is bullshit. Because I want y'all to go and fucking just look up everything that, what's his fucking name, Michelangelo, he went through to paint shit like the Sistine Chapel, and because he was also a sculptor, not even the sculpting process, but just the shit he had to go through just to excavate all of that marble off of these mining fields, just so he could paint these realistic life sculptures. And I want you to tell me that was an enjoyable process to fucking go through, And then a lot of them, they still, again, they still don't fucking make it. You only hear about these motherfuckers because they made it. But you don't hear about the people who failed, who got weeded out, who just, wasn't able to gain that kind of clout with these fucking churches or these fucking salons to actually be able to become somewhat established in life. They didn't, at the end result, these people, I wouldn't even say they became really rich. They just went through all of that work to become somewhat well off when they were already fucking old and about to die, to just live a somewhat comfortable life. It's fucking crazy. And that just goes back to what I was talking about in my last video, that it makes no sense to really put any kind of effort into this fucking life, because it's like, I'm gonna go through all this shit. Let's say if I choose to go the stable route, which, is getting a job in this day and age. It's not really fucking stable regardless. But let's say I try to go the route that's at least somewhat guaranteed that I'm gonna be somewhat financially established, which I've tried, then it's gonna be shit that you're gonna hate. You know, construction, HVAC, or fucking working in someone's damn store and shit. You're guaranteed a paycheck, but it's miserable ass shit that you're just gonna shit away 50 years of your life or more just to fucking have the basic necessities of life. And let's say if I try to go I try to just say, oh, fuck all of that. I'm just going to hone my skills and my art and do this. Well, then it's still not guaranteed, you know. I done talked about that dude the last time who could draw some kick-ass Kingdom Hearts pictures, and he still couldn't fucking, like, you know, but he couldn't blow up. It just wasn't happening. Like, again, like with these impressionists and all of them, they blew up eventually, but again, they was already fucking old, you know. Vincent van Gogh, he failed. Regardless of what everyone may think about his work today, it's just funny. No one gave a shit until he fucking died. But it's like when he was alive and really needed that clout to like just really pay his bills or get into a better financial situation, no one gave a shit. No one was accepting his work into the museums. Just no one was paying any attention. So it's like it's fucking just shit. You know, this reality is a fucking joke. That just proves that this reality is a fucking joke. And it doesn't matter if you try to pursue something of your dreams, like, you know, and it doesn't have to do with art. Let's say, like, you know, if you want to be a musician, the same story applies. It's a whole lot of people out here who want to be musicians, rappers, and, you know, musical artists, and they just don't blow up. You know, my brother was one of them, who is now, well, I'm not gonna put his business out there like that, but he was one of them. He wanted to fucking be a musical artist for some time, but it's like it just never happened, you know. And just that's the reality of fucking life. It doesn't matter, like, you know, what you want to do. You can put in all of this work and you can still fucking fail. And that's why I'm like, man, when I just think about stuff like this, I just ask myself, why am I even putting in this amount of effort? You know, I mean, I enjoy doing my art, but it's like spending 8 hours every day trying to complete all these projects and trying to hone my skills. And it's like, it's no guarantee it's going to even pay off. So it's like, well, what's the point? Now, that's just kind of what I think. You know, I'm not saying that I'm going to give up again, like I said in my last video. But it's like, when you think about all the effort you have to go through in this life just to be able to live or experience something good outside of your bubble, like my fucking sister constantly would say, to actually have a fulfilling life. When you think about all the shit you have to go through in this existence just to have a fulfilling life versus the amount of effort it would take just to get euthanasia, like, it really seems like euthanasia would just make the most sense for people who don't want to do this shit. But of course, you know, I live in a state or a country that doesn't believe in euthanasia, so we don't have it here, unfortunately. And then you got all this religious shit with my mom and all them, like, oh, suicide bad, or you go to hell for suicide, which is another thing I'm gonna touch on that shit right now. Like, oh, suicide is bad, and it's like, and it's fucking stupid, like, cause they say, oh, well, you can go to hell for suicide. What are you doing? Oh, man, just my, man, y'all can tell I'm in a fucking, like, I am just in a iffy mood today. So let me fucking just get back on topic. But yeah, when they say that, oh, suicide's bad, you go to hell for suicide, and I'm like, well, wow, but well, because, oh, God made you and your life is not your own. And see, and that statement right there proves that you're just someone's fucking slave. So wait a minute. So I was brought here involuntarily by two stupid people who was ordained by God to have sex and bring children into this hellhole. And then now I'm told I don't get a choice if I want to leave, or else I'm going to be punished by this sad deity for ending a life that never belonged to me in the first place. It's like they're fucking telling you you're a slave. Like, that's why all of this shit is stupid. You know, it is just fucking dumb. And so that's what I wanted to get on here and say. Like, it's like there is no escape from this hell realm. There is no escape from all the shit you gotta go through, even if you do try to pursue your own career path or whatnot. It's like you're just going to suffer regardless. That's what it seems like. And I think there are people who do have those good, well-off life styles, you know, families who is able to support them every step of the way, and they're able to mitigate a lot of their suffering. I'm not one of them, unfortunately. So it's like, I know I done started saying this shit too. You know, I think every anti-natalist now says this, but like, it's really a fucking joke. It's stupid. It is just dumb, you know. But yeah, that's all I wanted to get on here and say. And I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do today, but I'm just gonna get back to y'all with another one real soon. I may record another video after this. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'll hit y'all up real soon.